What could possibly go wrong? Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with another video, and a so-called Tolkien scholar who praised Amazon's Rings of Power. I'm not even fucking alluding to Lord of the Rings when I talk about the show, because it's not Lord of the Rings at fucking all. Praised the show, has revealed he is consulting on Return to Moria video game. This same so-called scholar who educated us plebeians on Twitter about how we've never understood dwarves all these decades of being Tolkien fans. Let the fucking gaslighting begin. It's going to keep on going. It's going to continue until this show premieres. So be fucking prepared, people. Be prepared for the gaslighting about how we've never understood Tolkien at all. So we are the problem. And this gentleman has been one of the biggest red flags out there. At any rate, let's go into this article so you can get a gauge of the game itself, as well as why the so-called scholar's contribution to it should be taken as a warning sign. So without further ado, here it is. Tolkien scholar Corey Olsen, and that should be in quotes, who is perhaps better known by his internet alias Tolkien Professor, also should be in quotes, and has previously espoused praise for Amazon's Rings of Power television series, has confirmed he has been tapped to consult on North Beach Games' recently announced Lord of the Rings survival crafting game, Return to Moria. Okay, here's the trailer. Announced on June 10th during the Epic Games Summer Showcase, the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria is set during the Fourth Age of Middle-earth. Alright? On the surface, piques my interest. But when it comes to entertainment industry and IPs nowadays, you really have to look below the surface. Where Lord Gimli Lockbearer has tasked a company of dwarves to retake the awe-inspiring dwarf city of Moria, otherwise known as Khazad-dûm or Dwarodelf. A survival crafting game whose gameplay loop can be tackled alone or with up to 8 other players. Players will be tasked with creating their own dwarf, rebuilding dwarven settlements, and delving ever deeper into the city's procedurally generated depths in search of resources and lost treasures. Players must also be ever vigilant to what lurks beneath them as they press on to learn the secret of the shadow. The dwarves delved too greedily and too deep. We're beyond excited for the dwarves to return to Khazad-dûm, exclaimed Sol Zient's company business affairs specialist Frederica Drodos, I apologize if I butchered those names, whose employer owns the rights to adapt Tolkien's works in a variety of mediums, in a press release. Thanks to our friends at North Beach Games and Free Range Games, we'll delve deep into the Misty Mountains together, and by this time next year, we do hope you'll join us. Alright, I take issue with this image, primarily because there were no dark-skinned dwarves in Moria. There were dark-skinned dwarves in Middle-earth, but they did not reside in Moria. Now, the devil's advocate approach could be that Gimli tasked dwarves that maybe were outside the realm of Moria to go in. Whatever, fucking whatever. But at the same time, I do not trust that this game at all is going to take that approach, and that is, when they create these games, or these characters I should say, it's all going to be about inclusion. It's all going to be about inclusion where, again, they never fucking lived. But does that stop Amazon? No. Does that stop this so-called scholar? No. But yet, we don't fucking know anything about dwarves. Chris Schultz, CEO and developer of Free Range Games, added, "We at Free Range Games are absolutely thrilled to finally reveal the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. J.R.R. Tolkien and all of his creations within Middle-earth are near and dear to our hearts, and this project presents an amazing opportunity to create new experiences born from one of the greatest stories ever told. A story that is being fucking butchered by Amazon and has been praised by a so-called scholar, a scholar that you hired to act as a contributor. So forgive me if I take whatever you fucking say with a grain of salt. Now, I do not know this game dev that well, so I can't say for fucking sure if he's talking through his teeth or not. If he's basically, or I should say, lying through his teeth. Can't fucking say for sure. However, big red flag from the guy that you chose to act as a contributor, act as a consultant. Just fucking saying. He stated before promising, "We are pouring a lot of passion into the game to give players an unforgettable experience." Okay, again, can't say anything to that. I don't fucking know them. And at present, it's a PC exclusive. They'll be arriving spring 2023 through the Epic Games Store. So if you have a console, you're shit out of luck. Right? Here's the red fucking flag, folks. Olsen, whose most notable claims to fame in the realm of Tolkien are his podcast, Tolkien Professor, and his founding of Signum University, a quote non-profit educational institution dedicated to making affordable online education available to all, take golf clap there, whose course offerings include numerous Lord of the Rings centric options, revealed his involvement with Return to Moria the day after the game's official reveal. I want to look that fucking up. I want to look at those course titles, alright? Because again, this man is a red flag. So he says, yes, I can indeed officially confirm I am consulting on this game. Building a fourth age story is a fascinating project, and I'm really impressed with the team's work so far. I think this game will be great fun. Oh, do fucking tell. Though Olsen's announcement was lauded by a fair amount of fans on social media, because social media reflects real life, obviously, others still took it as a warning sign, which it fucking should. It should be taken as a big fucking red flag. Because, again, this guy's been gaslighting fans on social media of what to expect from the game in regards to respecting Tolkien's work, as the quote-unquote Tolkien professor himself has previously applauded Amazon's upcoming Rings of Power series. Yes, this so-called scholar, this professor, whatever you want to fucking call him, I don't believe one of those titles at all, has been applauding Rings of Power. Again, a show that has no access to the Silmarillion, and is basically going through their narcissistic approach of believing they could do a better story than Tolkien. They literally just fucking came out and said that. A little over a month earlier, on May 9th, he tweeted, I was invited by the Lord of the Rings on Prime folks, along with a bunch of other internet Tolkien folks, to attend an advanced screening of some footage from the Rings of Power show and to meet the showrunners. And I must say, after meeting them, I feel the show's in very good hands. Do not trust anything this fucker says. Though many others have been less charitable in their appraisals of the Rings of Power trailers, press releases, and rumored plot details, myself included, with even actors who appeared in Jackson's original cinematic trilogy questioning how lore accurate the series will be, it won't be fucking lore accurate at all. Much of this criticism stems from Amazon's politically correct casting decisions, which fans believe overwrites Tolkien's original vision in favor of nothing more than appealing to hollow modern-day identity politics. This is not Tolkien's visions. They do not understand Tolkien's vision, because Tolkien's vision is not supposed to reflect fucking reality. It's not supposed to fucking do that. It's not supposed to reflect the world as we know it. It's supposed to fucking reflect the world he created, and that is Middle-earth. But that's not what the showrunners are doing, and yet this so-called scholar is praising that shit. Oh god, this... I want to speak to your manager. That's what she fucking looks like. Yet even in the face of such criticisms, Olsen defended the series. When he responded to Twitter user elpana86, who wrote, from what I've read, it doesn't seem they care much for the lore though. My expectations are really low. Olsen asserted, trust me, this is absolutely untrue. Do not trust anything this man says. In my opinion. Again, he's been gaslighting fans on Twitter. The makers of the show know and get Tolkien and are completely passionate about it. You mean the same makers and showrunners and writers and so forth who felt that they could do a better story than Tolkien? Who were connecting the stars that Tolkien never did? Those fucking shitheads know and get Tolkien? Again, I cannot beat this dead horse enough. This guy involved in this game is a big red flag. Are completely passionate about it, he maintained. I met them, talked to them, and asked them questions. Their answers surpassed my wildest expectations of their fandom. I wonder how low those expectations were, or non-existent, if you had them surpassed. What are you expecting from the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria? Let us know. I do not have a PC, so I cannot expect anything one way or another, because I will not be able to play it. Even if I did have a PC, most likely would not get it just because of his involvement. Or at least put it this way, not until other people have played it, and from people I trust. But even then, we'll see, I don't know. But I have no interest in getting it right now, especially with this so-called scholar's contribution. But at any rate, what are your thoughts down in the comments below? Are you getting this game? Are you not getting this game? Have you even heard of this game? And if so, Are you still interested in this game, or has your interest waned knowing that this man is involved with consulting on the property? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up, share on social media if you will. I will be live later on Twitch about 7:30ish p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern playing Evil Dead the game, hopefully with at least 3 other people, so I'm not playing with a rando on the Survivors team. I hate playing with randos, but anyway, I'll be live then. I can go for a bit longer, so I'll probably going 3.5 hours to 4 hours, give or take. So come hang out in the chats with everyone else if you enjoy that game. Like, share, subscribe again, all that fun stuff. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side, and this guy can just fuck right off.